With Deku's tale as a user of One For All coming to an end, I think it's befitting that we go over his story and explore who he is as a character and why in my eyes, he represents heroism the best. And I mean period. So, strap in because I'm about to get real in depth with this video. Now before I do get into the video, if you guys do enjoy content like this, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. Also hype the video because apparently that does something. As I do post content like this regularly, and to be honest, it's a win-win. You guys show me love and support and give back to you in the form of videos. Whether it's my hero, other anime, or just fiction in general, in due time I'm covering it, so be there when I go there. But I feel like I've rambled on long enough. So I jump straight into the video and delve into why Deku is the greatest representation of heroism. Now what does it actually mean to be a hero? Well, to be a hero, you need to have many key traits, and the biggest one, in my eyes at least, is bravery. Along with selflessness, but bravery. Because to be a proper hero, you need to be brave. And you could be brave in many different circumstances. You could be brave in a circumstance where you know that you can take down the situation and you know that you can get out of it relatively fine, but you're obviously showing your courage and how you can just break through when nobody else is doing anything and just putting yourself on the line. That is a version of bravery, but true bravery that separates just somebody who is doing a good deed to a hero, is somebody who goes up against something that the odds aren't stacked in their favor. And that is exactly what Izuku does. Izuku, within the first chapter of the series, runs into a situation where he doesn't even know if he'll make it out alive, but he does know that he is putting himself on the line to save somebody who literally, probably an hour or two earlier, told him to end it all. Now not only is he being selfless, but he is being brave. And that is the very first step. Because bravery can be built up, but bravery that is natural to you automatically puts you in conversations where you should technically not be at, but that is where you're going to be placed because that is natural to you. It did not need to build up, it was just there. And that is a very key trait of a hero, and because it's natural to him, he has endless amounts of it. As the story progresses and he is noticed by his idol, he shows his idol that if you just give him time, he can be his successor and he can take on the power. Now did Deku know exactly what he was taking on the moment he took on One For All? No, but the fact that he was given the opportunity to be the hero that he always wanted to be, he took it and ran, and whatever comes along with it, he would take it, because if All Might can do it, then he can, and he even wants to surpass All Might in terms of being a hero. Now the story continues, and Deku's struggles are one of a human acclimating to superhuman society and how he is now given the opportunity to become superhuman, and so he is taking it and he is running with it. His dedication to showing everybody that he can be that hero and he will be that hero is through the roof, because Aizawa tests him and he shows Aizawa that you're not going to get rid of me, because this is where I mark out my path to being who I am meant to be. I'm not going to take what All Might said and gave me for granted. The future is now in my hands and I am going to take that future and I'm going to make it mine. Which is why he thought of that plan on the spot. And as this is all going down, a rivalry, or I should say just a little bit of a feud between him and Bakugo goes on. And the interaction that he has with Ochako and then going into his fight with Bakugo really does show us that he is still maturing as a character, and this does actually build into his heroism, as he is able to take a term that was derogatory towards him and make it something that was actually empowering. And he tells his bully that I'm not going to allow you to use that in a bad way anymore. No, I've actually reinvented it and I've made it into something positive. A hero is somebody who can always turn something negative into something positive, and that is what he has just done. Now, don't get me wrong, did he do it by himself? No, he did it with help. He did it with his friend. And so far, even though he has shown us that he does have the bravery, he does have the selflessness, and he does have the ability to mature and adapt over situations, he always needs somebody else to give him that push. And that's something I'm going to come back to later. Now, his first battle with Bakugo really does show us that he, as a character, is way more focused on the line of being a hero than Bakugo is. Back then, he showed Bakugo that even though we have a feud, I'm all about saving the day, while you are about taking down the opponent in front of you. Both of them took All Might's way of justice and separated it into two different things. Deku was about getting the job done and saving the day, while Bakugo was about taking down the enemy to get the job done and then save the day. They are two different philosophies that end in the exact same way. It's just they go about it in two different ways. And so the story continues. We see him help Sue and Mineta. We see him then go in to try and do something to protect All Might's identity. We then see him in the sports festival grow even stronger and show the world and throw away his chance at being accepted by some of the top heroes in Japan just to save and help one of his classmates, who at that time he didn't even know that well. But that's just who he is, because as a person overall, he radiates positivity, and he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that everybody is okay. And that's a hero through and through. So far, he has portrayed many qualities of being a great hero, but he isn't done yet. As the story continues, he learns his quirk even more, and he then finds out through this that he still has a lot of growing to do when it comes down to quirks. Even though his mastery over quirks at this point was considered basically damn near top tier, him learning his own quirk and learning how it actually functions with the body, as you can see quirks do all these many different things, but actually having one and understanding how they function, that was one of his last pushes. And so he continues, and he saves the day time and time again, saving Kota, going up against Stain, going in to go and save Bakugo. All these different events show his heroism, and it portrays different parts of it. But the main part it shows is that no matter what, he is going to go there and save the day, and he's not going to allow the person that he's trying to protect die or even just get hurt on his watch. He doesn't want that. And through these times, he's shown us that he will take help, or he will break his own body just to save that person. He will do it all, and he'll even risk certain things himself just so he can get that person out of danger. He'll do it. It doesn't matter if you're a random civilian or you're his closest friend. He will do it for anybody, no matter what. And so he does this all because he knows that All Might's time is near. And so when All Might's time does come and it's now his turn, he has to kick it up a gear. He has to learn how to just get stronger quicker. And that's what he realizes, that he has been focusing too much on All Might. To be greater than someone, you can't fixate on them, because if you fixate on somebody, you are then going to put them at your limit. But if you see past them and know that you can be greater than them because you can view yourself in many different ways, then you can be better than them. And that's truly where I do believe that Deku's heroism past that point was going to surpass All Might's. Because even though the story had told us multiple times, it felt like All Might was this insurmountable wall. I mean, Endeavor had to face that firsthand. As number one hero, you could say that he never actually reached it. He got close, but never reached it, because he put All Might as his ceiling. But Deku, on the other hand, no, Deku wanted to go above that. But then he runs into Bakugo, somebody with basically the exact same dream. Even though you can say that Bakugo was a little bit shorter, as he just wanted to become the number one hero and surpass All Might, Deku just wanted to be the greatest hero, period. And so when Bakugo takes him and they have their fight and he breaks down about all these different things and Deku then replies, you then get to see that they are just two halves of All Might, but two halves that when combined into a whole could surpass him, and even by themselves in the end could surpass him, because that is what their story is about, and that's what their story does become. Because past that point, Izuku just continues to grow, showing us quality after quality. And you can say that for the most part throughout the story, it was just him continuously growing in terms of strength, but we never got to see his heroic side until we then get to the first war. When you get to the first war, you then get to see how he would react and act when there were real stakes here. And what does he do? He destroys his entire body just to get the villain down and out of the way. Even when all of his bones were broken, he still tried to get up. Now what he does past this point, I think, is what propels him into another spectrum. You see, when the first war was done, he realized that if he is around, everyone else around him is going to get hurt. And during that time, he also found out that he kind of is the reason why everybody else is being attacked, because he is the person that All For One and Shigaraki are after. They want his quirk. So what does he do? He goes off by himself. And he then finds out that he's also taking on the quirks and just everything else of 8 other people. From All Might, who he has already acknowledged, Nana Shimura, and everybody else. He realizes that if he fails and he gets anybody else hurt, it is on him. And that's what kickstarts the Vigilante arc. I feel as though the Vigilante arc is very, very misunderstood and misconstrued because people just see it as him being cool, but the real reason behind this arc happening is because he wanted to keep everybody out of harm's way and forgot the one key feature that made him who he was. Without the help of other people, he isn't Deku. He isn't the person who we saw. He isn't. Not in the slightest, because he wouldn't have the quirks. He wouldn't have had the Deku name. He wouldn't have had, like, the only thing he would have was what he had at the start of the series. And even though, yes, that is the core part of him, what really got him to that next level was help, was people. And him embracing that was what made him into one of the golden lights and shining beacons in the My Hero world. But when he threw that away, that is what took his light away. Him forgetting that he had people close to him that he could rely upon and know that they have their own backs, and him taking it all on himself. He went from somebody that was powerless to having all the power in the world. And so with that power, he believed that he could shoulder everything. But he has to realize that he's still human. And so when he does go around and everything, he looks like a villain. He looks like something that's not meant to be a hero. But he's going around doing hero jobs. It feels soulless. It feels like he's going around and doing it because he has to do it, not because that's what Deku wants to do. It feels like a must, not what he wants to do. And that all accumulates into Class 1A fighting him. And they don't fight him actually. They just want to stop him, to just talk to him and make him realize that he doesn't need to continue on the way he's going. And I feel like this is probably one of the most misunderstood parts of the series. Is yes, you do get an apology from Bakugo, and yes, Bakugo says you don't need to take this apology, it's fine. But people still misunderstand this and don't understand how important this was just overall. Not only do we get Bakugo's character reaching an apex, we also get Deku's character reaching an apex, because while Bakugo was gaining, Deku was losing. And they both need to come together and realize that they need to gain this thing together again. And so they do. And so that leads into the final war. And in the final war, the world gets to see Deku for who he is. The one that can always do his best. The one that's going to fight to the bitter end. It doesn't matter what he loses. It doesn't matter what happens. He will fight until the very bitter end. And you could see that Deku, after losing his arms, he was still trying to put everything on himself until Aizawa came. And when Aizawa came, that's when he realized that, wait, I still do have people. You could tell that the Vigilante arc definitely had an impact on him. And here, he then realizes that, wait, hold on, no. I'm not by myself anymore. People can help me here. And they can pick me up. And they can throw me into the position like they've always done to succeed. And that's where he truly does become All Might's greatest hero. Because All Might wasn't complete. All Might isn't the hero that Deku is and did become. Because even though it seemed like he was perfect to even us, there was one key thing that he didn't remember, and that was it's okay to rely upon people. He thought that he needed to shoulder the world by himself, and even though he still had that light, because that's who All Might is, he doesn't have the exact same light that Deku did. And I feel like Deku went down that exact same rabbit hole as All Might did, but he took himself out of it. And he then became the hero that All Might couldn't, and All Might realized that. And All Might only learned that as Deku had already assimilated with it and knew that. That's why he's the greatest hero. And that is why in my eyes, he is the greatest representation of heroism inside of fiction, because he goes through all these different things. Even though it seems like he seems like a very complete hero character, he only grows as the story progresses and goes on, and he becomes the pinnacle of heroism. He's a light, a ray that we can all look at and say, if Deku is here, then not only can he boost us up, it's not just a one-man army like All Might or some of these other heroes out there. No, he is somebody that can use us, make us feel like we are heroes as well, because we can help him. Just us yelling his name and giving him that extra push, it makes us feel like we did something. And that is what he does. He does to everybody. But not only that, his bravery, the fact that he could do everything and wants to do everything, even though he may not have any powers, he still gets up and does it. And when he has that power, his bravery only blooms even more. His selflessness, his ability to just throw away his entire body if it meant that just one person gets to live. Yes, many other heroes out there have those key traits, and they are beautiful when they do show it, but with him shouldering everything at such a young age, within a year having to save the world, shoulder 6 other quirks and all of their left baggage because they couldn't stop All For One. That is where Deku comes in, and he showed the world that not only is he a great hero, not only is he a hero that can stand up to All Might's level of being a great, he surpassed it. Because along with that, his understanding is great as well. Understanding Shigaraki and even Spinner and many others, his ability to understand, his selflessness, his bravery, and just his soul. Yeah, Deku truly is the greatest representation of heroism. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Oh, how I've been wanting to make this video for so long. I'm so glad the anime covered it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, as I certainly did enjoy making it. If you guys want more hero content, you know what to do. I probably will drop some more anyway. But yeah, a sidebar, I'm probably way more hyped to see like the grown up versions of them than I'm probably hyped to see anything else. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at this season and was like, yeah, there's gonna be some cool fights here and whatnot. Like, I wanted to see that final punch, but I kind of want to see them growing up. I think that anime is gonna do a little twist on it. I think the anime is gonna add in some cool fight scenes. I want to see Deku fight in his little hero suit. But anyway, yeah, alright. I love you all, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Go watch My Hero if you haven't. I don't know why you didn't. I don't even watch this video if you didn't. But yeah, anyway, I love you all. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.